Hi, and welcome to Get and Go In with Azure with DataGriff. And what we're going to do today is create a new virtual machine. First thing you need to do is go to portal.azure.com. Once there, click the hamburger in the top left-hand corner. Go to All Services. Click Virtual Machines. Click Add Virtual Machine. And that takes you to the basic configuration page. The first thing we need to do is make sure we've got the right subscription selected. In this case, it is my MSDN subscription, so I'm just going to click that. For the resource group, I'm going to call it MyVMRG, with RG standing for resource group. You click OK. For the virtual machine name, I'm going to have that mirror my resource group. I'm going to call it MyVM, and then I'm going to create it in North Europe. So I have EUN, and then I have -griff, just to make it unique. So for the region, I'm then going to pick North Europe. This is the closest to me. I'm going to leave the availability zone options as they are. For the image, I'm going to select Windows Server 2019 Data Center Gen 1. So I'm just going to select that. I'm going to leave the size as it is. Then for the username, I'm just going to give it admin griff as the username. For the password, I'm just going to type that in. And I'm going to confirm the password, make sure it's nice and unique and safe. And scroll down, we've got the inbound port rules. And then for the inbound ports, you want to choose RDP 3389 and also HTTP 8D. And you can see this gives us a warning because it will allow all IP addresses to access our VM. So this is only for testing purposes. It's just so we can RDP onto the machine and so we can try IIS as well. So that's all we need to do on the basic configuration page. If we go to networking, we can just confirm that we've got the ports that we selected. So we're going to allow 80 and 3389 to connect to this VM. Under management, we're going to disable boot diagnostics. So just click that. And then we're going to go to review and create. And it's going to run the validation. You can see it's going to give us the pricing details. We also get that warning again, but we know we're going to ignore that because it's purely for testing. It's passed the validation. You can review all the configuration details that you've set. We've left a lot of them as defaults just because we just want to create a virtual machine as quickly as we can. Click Create. It's initializing deployment. Submitting the deployment. And off it goes. And that's going to take a couple of minutes now to deploy our new virtual machine into its resource group. Okay, the deployment is complete. So we can go to our resource. And here we have our new virtual machine running in the cloud. And what we're going to do, we're just going to confirm that we can remote desktop onto it because we set the ports open. So I'm going to click Connect. I'm going to click RDP. I'm going to download the RDP file. You can see this pops up in the bottom left hand corner of my screen. I'm going to click that. I'm going to connect. And what I'm going to do is click More Choices. I'm going to use a different account. And I'm going to use the credentials that I put for the user on the VM that we put in earlier. Into my password. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to say yes. So we've just RDP'd onto our new virtual machine, which is great. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to install IIS, and then we're going to try connecting to that over a browser. So what we're going to do, on our virtual machine, we're going to open PowerShell. So I'm going to click Windows PowerShell. And then what we're going to do, we're going to type in a PowerShell command that's going to install IIS. I'll put this with the video as well, so you've got the code. Press Enter. That's going to take a couple of minutes just to install. Okay, so the installation is complete. We're going to minimize our remote desktop. We're going to go back to our virtual machine. Just click Overview. We're going to copy the public IP address. We're going to create a new tab. We're going to paste that into the URL. And you can see that we've got IIS running on our virtual machine. Now obviously this is publicly available, so it's not actually secure, but we've proved that we can very quickly create a virtual machine and have IIS up and running in a few minutes. Now as we're not going to use this virtual machine at this point, it's a good thing for you to save costs. Go back to your resource group, which your virtual machine is in. Click Delete Resource Group. And you need to type the resource group name in. Paste that in. And click Delete. And then that'll go off and start deleting your resource group. I hope you enjoyed that today. That's a very brief tour on creating a virtual machine in Azure. But I hope to see you in our next Get In, Go In with Azure soon.